Greetings and welcome to my channel. This is Sorcerer Tal. You can also find me on Facebook in the Sorcerers Guild. Today we are going to be speaking about spiritual anarchy and the Astral Anarchy Alliance. First we'll define what the term spiritual anarchy is, and then I'll explain about the Astral Anarchy Alliance and why this isn't a group exactly, but more a collection of perceptions of which everyone who perceives eventually achieves, but is already connected to. Okay, so what do I mean by all that? Okay, spiritual anarchy is the idea that there is no hierarchy on the spiritual level. This means that gods and insects are of equal value. Anything that perceives is a thread in the pattern, and each thread is of equal value. This doesn't mean we should never work with gods, as long as a god doesn't demand worship. Myself, I will not worship anything. I do have reverence for different aspects and the wisdom even of different beings, some of which call themselves gods. And there are many beings that I work with that call themselves gods, but they don't demand from me. And they understand that full communication, true communication, is only possible between equals. And so this means that we must understand our equality with the gods in order to truly grasp what it is they are trying to tell us. And many of them do have wisdom if you can finally learn to understand it. To truly understand something, to truly communicate and interact, we need to see that something as an equal. If we see it as something that is higher than us, we will not be our full selves. We won't say what we want to say and what we will to say. We will say what we would say to someone who is in that position. And this is innate in the concept of hierarchies. So to truly understand other beings, we must understand that we are equal. And this is not a thing of pride, nor of humility. Because, yes, we are equal with the gods, but we are also equal with the insects, with anything that perceives. They eventually achieve that level of equality. We are each the center of existence because there is no central hub. There is no actual core. It is an infinitely expanding, growing, vibrant chaos, chain reaction of chaos that grows and thrives and vibes and learns and turns. It doesn't stay still. It doesn't have a central core except your own. Each of us as an individual is at the very center because we are each a point of perception. And when these points of perceptions collect, this is what I am referring to as the Astral Anarchy Alliance, because eventually all things that perceive come to the understanding of communication. We all learn eventually to understand, and it happens at different times. But as much as I say there isn't a center, there is a collection, a harmonizing of frequencies. Once your understanding hits that level, that equality, and we all get there eventually. And because this is the moment of our fuller self, and our fuller self is connected to all aspects of ourself, we are already connected to this alliance, this plethora of perceptions that are joined together but are each distinct and individual. Another name for this idea that they use when I'm communicating with the beings I typically refer to as the Horde, but they are aspects of this alliance as well, is whose face has too many names, whose name has too many faces. And this is the collection of all of those things, all of these perceptions together. There is a consensus that is sometimes achieved. And with these consensuses is the collective unconscious, the things that all things that perceive, believe, become. And that is how the database is moved. That is how reality functions. This is the way that chaos moves. And you cannot control chaos. So there can be no omnipotent being who is above all other beings. There is no up or down, left or right. There is simply expanding infinites of vibrance and color and darkness, and expanding and growing and light. And as it expands, it contracts, and as it contracts, it expands, because all things have their equal and opposite thing. And that is how we become this collection of consciousnesses that is each individual. And though there is no hierarchy, there is no authority, each one of us is the eye in the storm. Each one of us is the full manifestation. We are each a face and a voice within the collection of whose face has too many names and whose name has too many faces. And this word sounds rather like I'm speaking of a god of chaos. And no, because there is no god of chaos. Perhaps it is a chaos god. Perhaps it is the ultimate manifestation, but it is not an it. It is an us. And this is not some cause to conform, but rather it creates the need to resist conformity, to realize the individual and create ourselves and grow so that we can manifest a more vibrant, fuller, more interesting story woven within the tapestry. And at the same time, there is also this idea of keeping things entertaining, because we all eventually reach that center, that equality full spot, and we also reach a place of observance where we are the audience of all the different stories and tapestries and art that we exist within and we create and interact with. We are our own audience, and each of us watch and observe from that place of fullness within that alliance, that connectedness, that thousands of points, infinite points of light, of perception, of being. And this is what we are striving for, yes? This creating ourselves and understanding the interconnectedness of reality. This is how we strengthen our spellcraft, by coming to a fuller understanding of things. And it gives us that ability to see, to look at different items and have an empathy, being able to see their patterns more easily when you see the things around you as part of a weave that interacts with you and the things around you. And I feel like that may have been a little bit confusing. See if I can be a little more clear. When we learn to accept the simplicity of the complexity that is reality, and that we are equal with all things, this clears our eyes in a way and gives us an empathy, not just to other perceiving things, which includes plants and mushrooms and anything that feels and perceives, anything that is self-aware. But even objects have a story, a place within the pattern. And when we learn to understand this equality, it is easier to see the poetry within objects, where what patterns they have that can be placed into a spell. Often we use roses to represent love, but also strength. If we use the thorns, then we are using it for protection, or sometimes even to represent the sting within something that is beautiful. Yeah? There's all this different poetry and the way it rhymes with reality is how we choose what things can go into our spells. This is how you can choose the design of your sigils, even by finding that flow of beauty, that poetry that exists within the movements of reality. And this all goes back to this idea of the equality of all things and the alliance of anarchy that this insists upon, that is the necessary part of that fullness, because anarchy does not exist as this idea of, oh, everybody for themselves, smash, grab, and just disregard for other people. It is the opposite of that. In order for anarchy to function, you must have alliances, you must have community, and that is the natural way of the universe. And so when we reach out to the astral level, in order to be fully interacting with that reality, to have a full understanding of it, we need to have this base concept that there is no hierarchy on the spiritual realm. Okay, so hopefully some of that made some sense. We'll be talking about this again on Saturday when I go live. I'll try to go live around the same time I did last week. Still not quite worked into that as a routine yet, so we'll see. But we'll try to go live around 6 p.m. Pacific time. Okay. Like I said, that's going to be it for this episode. Until next time, bright blessings and an interesting fate. This has been Sorcerer Tal.